It's awesome, but I do need to thin this a little bit. It's still got that acidic bite to it, so I think I am gonna go ahead and use water for this. Sorry guys, try and get that in there for you. Better? And just the tiniest little drop of water makes a big difference in an emulsion, guys. So just a little bit. And now it's got that flow back. It's right back where it was before I added that extra 1.5 ounces or so of oil in there. It's beautiful, okay? I'm gonna give it one more taste just to make sure I like it. And I'm gonna chill that. You guys see it? Give that a little taste while you can. Stick your finger on in there. Don't double dip. But that's our mayonnaise. I'm gonna throw it on in the fridge right here, okay? It didn't take me long to do that. And if it did seem like it took a while, it's because I'm mostly yakking all the way through it. Oh dear. I gotta grab my ingredients for my salad while I'm doing this, so I'm gonna give this stuff a switcheroo. Okay, so I was gonna do a little knife work for you guys. We're rolling right along. We're not even done with our first hour yet, and only our second video so far. I may crash and burn again before this is over. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I'll be doing more seasoning with that egg salad later, but right now what I'm gonna do is chop up my vegetables. That allows that mayonnaise to chill, and it also allows these eggs to continue cooling to the center, right? Matt Davis, man, good to see you. So first thing I'm going to cut up is some celery, okay? I mentioned earlier I want a little texture in this salad, and so I'm actually going to work quite a bit of little celery in here for my egg salad. I like my egg salad salady, if you will, okay? So there you are. Whenever I'm doing celery, I kind of cut it into manageable lengths so I can get straight cuts later. I usually cut those ribs in half and then cut them again, and that's just going to be a nice little dice back behind the eggs and those soft little eggs in my salad. We're gonna have textural qualities going on in there. Okay, so you guys can kind of see that. Again, the idea is shorten those lengths of celery so you can cut them comfortably and you can get pretty straight little cuts on those guys. Boom. Take a look at where I'm holding that knife. May as well review that. We've got time today, okay? Notice I'm holding the blade with my index finger and my thumb, okay? We're not really holding the handle much. These fingers are just kind of along for the ride, making things a little steady. My other hand, my fingertips stay curled under and my knife stays perpendicular to my knuckles. It rides right there on my knuckles as I cut. But another thing to point out is look at where my elbow is when I do that. You see my elbow sticking straight out at my side? If it's up against your ribs, it's going to turn your hand like this if your elbow is next to your ribs, okay? Don't know if you guys can see that. So keep that elbow out to the side, okay? Cut these up, and these are going in the box. I'll kind of cut these up pretty quickly now that you see that. We'll just kind of review the hand hold and the claw on the other side, and you can see that rolling motion that you've seen if you've seen any of these other videos, okay? There's one. Notice I didn't try and cut it all at once. It just turns into a big mess. And let me just roll through this one a little faster. And there they are. There's all my celery. Get it all cut, then bring your bowl to it instead of trying to take it to the bowl and sweep it all in at once, okay? Let's see, other thing I want to break up is an onion. And let me just do a little quick wipe down on my board here. Gotta wipe it down in between everything. My old students know about that. They know me. Work like a sushi chef. All right, back down to the onion there. I think that's kind of, let me align that better. Okay, there we go. Okay. Onion basics, you guys have seen this from me before. North Pole and South Pole. I'm going to remove them both. There goes the North Pole. There's the South. I'm going to save those little bits for a stock pot, but the skin all has to go on these purple onions. It'll turn your stock black. Excuse me, guys. Really dry throat. So I get that red skin off of there. I'll do that later. But that's going in a stock pot later. Now that I've got my onion on a flat surface, that's the North Pole right there. I'm going to cut down through it. I think I'll go up. I'll go this way. And then I'm going to take the peel off. I'm only going to use one side of this guy today. Now, what I want to show you here is my standard little salad cut for red onions, okay? I had done a julienne onion before with you guys, and I talked about how when I julienne, I don't want to cut across the grain of this onion, I want to cut with the onion, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing today, but inside the onion, there are all these little funky pieces that don't quite grow all the way through, so I remove those guys. I'm going to pop the other side of this guy out, in fact. Come on. And I could still use this for other purposes, but I pull out all the funky stuff and everything else is just perfect onion, perfect layers of onion. So that's what I wanted to do, is grab that right there. And I'll use this for other purposes. I can dice it later or something, but this is what I want to do when I'm doing a perfect julienne. So when I'm doing that julienne, I've got kind of a rough edge there. That'll go on my stock pot too. But I can do my julienne straight across like this, but this is way too long for my egg salad. And so what I'm going to do is cut that down across the grain and make little short lengths, and then I'm going to cut those with the grain. And it's going to look like this. These gives you perfect tiny little juliennes. And I don't want to cut them too thin because I don't want them to be paper thin, so they'll have a little body, but you can see they're all these perfect little lengths of red onion. No funky bits. You know what it's like when you're chopping onions, you just go straight through them. If you pop that center out, you get these perfect pieces. And that's what I use for the quality work. Looking good. And a little bit more coming at you. And those are all going in my egg salad bowl, where I'm building my salad. So I bring that to it. So I've got some celery and red onion in there. I'm going to knock out some beautiful, beautiful sour pickle to go in there. All the little onion bits, I just saved that for a stock pot. Let me wipe down real quick. Never throw flavor away. And next I'm just going to grab a bunch of these pickle slices and chop them up kind of rough. There's a pickle leaf in there. Pickle leaf. All right, so I'm just going to run my knife through it. This is kind of another cut where your hand just kind of floats on top. I go through with a claw maybe once, kind of turn things a little bit, and then my other hand rests on top of the knife. This is kind of a chopping motion. Notice I never curl my fingers. This is review too. That hand stays perfectly flat when I'm doing this move here. Nice, nice, nice. So this gives me little tangy bits in my egg salad that are going to kind of not break down, but kind of cut through that fatty mayonnaise sauce, right? We want that acid for those fatty things, okay? Let me wipe down again. And then the last thing I'm going to chop up to throw in here is that tarragon from Ms. Again, thank you, Ms. Amy Grabish. I was out at her farm yesterday. Absolutely beautiful. Paradise on earth. And she just gave me the most beautiful tarragon I have ever seen, okay? It is ginormous. And so I'm going to put a bunch of this in there. Egg salad and tarragon. It's like one of those classic combinations. And I think I said it earlier, the combination, or that flavor of tarragon works really, really well with acid-based sauces like mayonnaise or hollandaise, right? Most of you probably know the classic tarragon-flavored hollandaise type sauce called tarragon. Now those hot emulsion sauces, that's kind of the third step that we teach in culinary school. We'll talk about this while I clean these beautiful tarragon leaves off of there. You can see those big long leaves, by the way. And I should say, this has almost like an anisey, peppery, like black pepper and anise is what it tastes like. It's almost a spiciness. So I was saying the third stage of emulsions that we teach. We teach vinaigrettes first. Then we teach them how to make a mayonnaise. We teach them how to emulsify a vinaigrette, which you guys just saw. And then the third stage would be to do a hot emulsion like a hollandaise or a béarnaise, okay, which is your tarragon flavored hollandaise type sauce. I don't consider hollandaise to be a mother sauce, by the way. I consider it to be a hot emulsion sauce. I keep it in that classification, and that's where I keep it. So I don't necessarily make a hollandaise and then make tarragon flavored béarnaise out of that. Anyway, when we're doing these emulsion type sauces, these hot emulsion sauces, the big difference that I find between them and say mayonnaise is the texture of them. When we add heat, we give those eggs the capacity to hold air. They hold a lot more air. You'll see this in pastry work where we aerate, we warm up eggs and we'll make sponge cakes and things with them, okay? So warming the eggs gives them that capability of holding air. So when I make a hot emulsion-based sauce, I do the same things that I do with mayonnaise, but I do it over a water bath, and because it's hot, eggs hold the air, and those hot emulsion sauces should be light and fluffy. And that's what I'm looking for whenever I'm tasting a hollandaise around town. Too many hollandaises, I'm just gonna do a rant here, okay? But too many times I go out to breakfast, and I'll tell you, I'm not the guy that wants to go eat hollandaise because, again, I had to taste this stuff all day, every day at culinary school, right? It's not something I'm looking for. But when I do run into one, occasionally my wife will try it, you know, and I'll try a little taste or whatever. It's like warm mayonnaise. There's like no acidity to it, first of all, right? So there's nothing to break up that fattiness on your palate. It just sits there. And then the second thing about it is it's like the consistency of warm mayonnaise, okay? I want light. I want fluffy. The thing I always told my culinary students, when you're making a mayonnaise, you hand me that bowl of sauce, it should be lighter than it looks, right? It should almost float away in my hands, right? And it's very, very true. The students would always say, like, "Dang, chef, you're right, man. It almost just floats away, you know? It is lighter. I see what you're saying," right? And so that's kind of the third set of emulsions that we do in culinary school. I've cleaned up some tarragon here. I'm ready to run my knife through it. This is going to be another one of those chopping motions that I do. But before I go through those herbs, I'm going to do more of a slice to it, and I want to go ahead and steel my blade. When I'm doing herbs, that's one job where I'm always picking up my steel, and I go back. I usually like to hold it further back, and I start at the base of my knife. I go backwards with it for, you know, safety and also for purposes, okay? And I go backwards on it, and I draw that blade along the entire length of the steel. Use the whole blade, use the whole steel, and do it on each side. Maybe about 8 or 10 times. I'm going to speed things up and get this done. You want to be pretty gentle with that. You don't want to, you know, really wrench on it. And I'm going to go ahead and cut through this tarragon now, okay? I want to kind of wipe that, by the way, because you get little metal burrs on there. Okay, I'm going to bunch up my tarragon, and I'm actually going to kind of slice it, okay? It's going to be kind of looking like what I do for a chiffonade, if you guys have ever seen me move before. And so I'm getting these rough little chops of tarragon, but they're still kind of a uniform roughness because none of them are any thicker than another piece. So I'm kind of really doing a chiffonade here, if you will. Kind of bunching up those leaves. Tarragon does, you want to be a little gentle, tarragon does bruise. And it's just, again, a really nice, like, bright spiciness to things. It's an unexpected taste. Chef Eric, if he's still out there, he would talk about the herb chervil. It's like, what the hell is this stuff? You know, what the hell is that flavor again? Herb, you know, chervil. And tarragon's kind of like that too. A lot of people aren't really used to this tarragon flavor. But when you taste it, you know it's there. It's a big one. Jumps out at you. Which I like. I'm not into subtle. I want food to pop. I don't want it to put me to sleep. I don't want to take a nap. Okay, so I've got my tarragon mixed up with all of those other little crunchy things. It went on with those pickles, so I think I don't want to leave tarragon in contact with pickles. The acid in the pickles kind of kills the color of that herb, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and work in a little bit of mayo there. I saw Chris join us there. Good to see you, brother. And I got my ever-present mini spoonchula, okay? Second favorite tool in the kitchen after wood spoon. And I got my nice chilled mayonnaise now. And I am working that into those other ingredients. And that is going to kind of coat things with a little bit of fat and keep them from turning too much color. I'm hoping that little bit of acidity in there will brighten my red onions a little. And we kind of talked about that a little while ago. That acid really brightens up those red onions. So right now, let me kind of show you what I got here. So this is celery, red onion, tarragon, and I think I am going to, well, I'll hold off. I'm going to hold off on flavors for a little bit. The next thing I need to work in here is my eggs, but I got to peel them first, okay? So let's do that. I'm going to move a cutting board. I think I'm done with cutting boards, so let me just get this fellow on out of here. Crash, bang, boom. This is where I need the band. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Hey, okay. So, what I want to do is I'm going to pour off the water for my eggs. You guys don't need to see that. You know how to pour water off of eggs. You guys know that. And there they are. And I've got all of my eggs in a bowl. And let me get another bowl to put the cleaned eggs in. So just a little something to set them on for now. Sorry, I got a little transition to do here in between scenes. It's TV stuff, fake TV stuff. Oh, yes. Little transition. Okay. That's pretty good. All right. Let me get this right. Boom, right there. Okay, so the way I peel eggs and the way I do everything in the kitchen, guys, is with two hands, okay? So what I do is, I'm right there. Okay, so I'm gonna grab two eggs and I crack them on the table and roll them forward, okay? They pop out very easily. Look at that, how they just came out of there in one piece, okay? Another thing that I will do, though, is just get a tiny trickle of water going in my sink right over here, and if I have just a little piece of eggshell, I want to rinse them as I go, okay? So tiny trickle of water, it's a drought, I'm not getting crazy, and I give them a little rinse, okay? Did you see that guy just fall out? Okay? Those are green eggs, they come from green chickens, okay? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. And let me just say, earlier in these shows, I was telling you how I always do one step at a time. So what you're going to see is I'm going to crack them all, and then I'm going to go through and peel them all. Efficiency. That one didn't crack. He's got a hard shell. The sizes of these eggs are all over the road. That's my pre-cracked egg right there. Get them all cracked, and then we go through them all. Operation Easter egg. And here we go. Okay? Everything with two hands. I learned that on the first day in the business, guys. Use both hands. So, peeling the egg. See that little shell on there? Just a little trickle of water and it's off. One little shell just ruins your egg salad. I cried on my 7th birthday party when I found a shell in my egg salad. It was really tragic. And up until then, they called me robot. Up until that day, I was known as the boy who couldn't cry. But I found one eggshell in there. I'm having a little difficulty with this one. He doesn't want to come off. And he also broke a little bit. But that's okay. I'm going to give him a rinse. And he's ready to go. We're getting close, folks. We're getting close. This one's going to just slide right out. It's almost indecent, isn't it? Oop. I'm getting a little overzealous. It's that pressure of Hollywood there. I think I'll start doing my rinsing several at a time as well. They're just falling out of those shells. And there they go. Come on, baby. We're doing it. It's actually fun. I love peeling eggs. I don't know about you guys, and I don't know if that sounds weird. I don't care. Okay, I love it. Love it. Say that after peeling 3 cases, though. Start getting underneath your fingernails, and you'll feel it. Oh no! This one's giving me some difficulty. A couple of the brown eggs. That's doing all right, though. I got a little bit of a color change on that yolk on the outside, I can see, but not too bad. And then let me just rinse off these guys 4 at a time. Get all of those little peels off of there. You don't want to make the little kids cry at their egg salad birthday party. I hear all the kids are asking for egg salad birthday parties these days. Okay, so there are my beautiful eggs. Let me do a little scene change again, transition. This won't take long. And I gotta do a real wash on that because it's a little eggy. It's a little eggy. Oh yeah, are they farm fresh? That's a good question. I got these yesterday when I was going off to procure a rooster that's going to be the special guest on Wednesday's show. And when I went there, they offered me a basket of mini eggs, and they were probably just collected over a few days and time. So yeah, not sure, but yeah, it's a big old basket of eggs. I have so many eggs right now. It's great. Okay, so we're ready to bring this egg salad home, okay? I just got to get these guys all chopped up, and then we're going to adjust seasoning and consistency, I think, and we're about done, okay? So let's take a little look. Now, my eggs, there is a little bit of moisture in there, so I've got a paper towel. I'm just going to kind of dab that and get rid of that moisture. And then, rather than chopping these up, what I usually do is use screens for these kinds of things, right? Guacamole, goat cheese, feta cheese, egg salad, right? I go through these kinds of screens. I like this kind of screen, but I like a smaller size. So I'm going to use that spider that I was using for my eggs earlier for egg salad. This is a good one for like feta cheese, you know, that size right there. But I like this for like guacamole, like I said, and egg salad and things like that, okay? So I'm just going to push them through this thing. If I have a big rack, I can do them 2 at a time. In fact, I'm going to do them with the little guy because I like the look better, okay? So it looks about like so. Just push them on through. I'm going to move these a little closer so I don't have to reach. And I don't have to go all the way through with all of them because the next egg is going to help push it through. I don't see any undercooked yolk yet in there. It's all looking pretty good. You guys see that? Those eggs came out beautifully, and I don't see dark in there at all. Just keep pushing them through. It's actually the best job in the kitchen. I love doing this. If you learn nothing else in today's class, guys, learn how to smush things through screens. It's a blast. Take your mind off all that craziness out there these days. The whole reason we're inside doing these quarantine kitchens. Someday it will all be over. And there's my last little bit of egg all the way through, and you can see that goes really, really quick like that. And it's pretty darn uniform, okay? It's a beautiful looking cut for an egg salad. I don't think anybody needs to get in there for a perfect dice. So let me I'll just kind of do a little stir together, and let's see. The shells can go in the compost. You better believe it. I just started a garden this morning. I'm running out to farms and getting eggs and starting gardens and making egg salad and making how-to videos. I feel like a soccer mom these days. I'm just doing all this stuff, right? So let's see. Let's see this all roll together again, and I'm going to start working on my seasoning and all of that good stuff. It's got all those crunchy veggies in there. Oh, I got a piece that didn't quite break up, but you know what? Egg salad is really easy to break up. Look at that. Done. And there it is, okay? And that was just a 1 egg mayonnaise in there. And it looks like plenty to bind it. In fact, I was going to say it's almost a bit wet, but no, that's actually a really good amount. You know, again, I say it almost every time, guys. Sometimes I get lucky, okay? You don't see me measuring stuff here. It all just kind of comes from the heavens now. Let's see. Do you have yoga pants? What do you got in mind? A yoga class or something? A yoga do-it-yourself class? I should do that. It would fit right in with the whole soccer mom thing. Yeah, I need that athletic wear to do this properly. Okay, so let's see. We're doing another tasting here. And I'm going to check it out. It's nice and tangy from that pickle. That's what I got. You probably heard me crunching. I think it's missing that little bit of that peppery afterburn. I'm kind of still waiting, and I'm not getting it. That tarragon is coming out. It's got some nice acidity to it. Yeah, it's still got nice acidity. I'm very pleased. I said cayenne. Let's do a little bit more cayenne. Again, I'm not looking, don't make this orange. This is not Cajun salad, okay? Cajun egg salad, although you could do that. There's no reason why you couldn't do that. So I'm gonna mix just another little teaspoon of that in there. I'm gonna break that up a little right over the surface, and I wanna kind of do an airdrop so it spreads out. There we go. And let me mix that on in. It's got a good flavor. I'm still tasting it in my mouth, but I just think a nice little afterburn would be cool. It's a hot day. I want an afterburn. It doesn't look hot enough. I'm gonna go with the back of this spoon this time. Now I'm tasting it. After it sat for a second, I think the yolk soaked up a little bit of seasoning, so I'm gonna go more of that cayenne, and I'm also gonna add a little more salt to it. When you're doing cold salads, you'll mix things and it'll taste seasoned, and then you taste it again 5 minutes later and it needs another bump of seasoning, okay? So I just threw in a tiny bit more cayenne, and I'm gonna add a pinch more salt. There we go. And there it is. That's very pretty, and I think, what was it, 5 ingredients, 6 maybe? It was the, you know, some mayonnaise if you don't make your own mayonnaise. It's mayonnaise, it's eggs, celery, red onion. I throw pickles in mine. I don't know about you. And I got a hold of some tarragon, but, you know, green onion is good in there, you know, parsley or something. I actually have some parsley right here. I'm thinking about bumping up, once we're done, you don't need to see me chop more herbs. But I'll bump a little more green in there, you know, because again, egg salad is a salad, right? I want it to have that veggie crunchiness and everything, right? So it's beautiful stuff, and that's what my dinner's gonna be tonight. I got all these eggs, and we're having ourselves an egg salad party here at Quarantine Kitchen Happy Hour. Let's do another one of these before we get rolling, guys. Let me see if anybody's got any questions back there, and I wanna kind of talk about the next upcoming show. Boom, boom, boom. I'll go back a little way. I do this at work. It makes it so much better to show me how to do this. Oh, probably the egg thing. Don't let it break. Boom, boom, boom. Michael Toohey out there. Good to see you. Little Nate, Sid, looking good. Let's see. I don't see too many questions. Most a bunch of people just saying, hey. Use it in hollandaise. Wine, that will slow you down. Oh, don't never blame the wine, okay? If I'm going slow, it's my fault, not the wine's fault. Time is money. My brown eggs, fresh from hens, always give me a hard time to peel. Well, there it is right there. You too, huh, Ms. Word? Look at that. It's not just me. Let's see. Screen method in production. Oh, you're going to use that in production. Yoga pants for sure. Yeah, soccer mom chef. You better believe it, guys. I wish I was a soccer mom. They get stuff. Soccer moms get things done, man. It's all about the ladies out there. Us guys, you know, we all got the rep or whatever, but I really do think it is the ladies that get it done out there. So here's to you, ladies. Let me just talk again about the next show, guys. Don't forget to come out on Wednesday, 3:30, with another Facebook Live, and hopefully I won't burn up my camera doing that one, burn up my phone. On Friday, I'll be cooking the bird that we process on Wednesday at Gravish Farms, okay? It's going to be history making fake TV. So do show up for that. I'll be making a classic coq au vin with a very tough rooster, which is a match made in heaven. That's what it's all about. I want that tough bird. This finished dish, it's going to be like what they were eating back in the old days, guys. And people don't eat like this all the time unless they own a farm and do their own chickens, okay? So I'm very excited about this. It's a very special treat for me. And I hope you guys kind of enjoy as you move through it. Last thing I want to talk about is I'm trying to move followers over to the YouTube page. If I can get enough subscribers over there, they give me a whole different platform, and I can kind of do a bunch of stuff over there. So please do go over there and check those vids over there on my Industry Cooking Classes page or channel on YouTube. Go in there and subscribe. I've got tons and tons. Hey, I'm really, really rough. There's no editing or anything like that, and I'm kind of a joker, but this is all actual culinary technique that works, right? So it's definitely worth a watch. Get over there and subscribe. Get over there and subscribe your mom to it and your dad, and you know, because they don't know how to get on the YouTube and everything. So get over there, and I got to get some people over there, and I got tons of videos, and you're going to see extra special stuff over there that you're not going to see on Facebook. So cruise on over there and check out that Industry Cooking Class page. And I think that is all I'm gonna do today. Let's go ahead and bid you guys a fond farewell to another Quarantine Kitchen happy hour, Quarantine Kitchen field trip. I will see you next Wednesday at 3:30, okay? I'm going to show you that beautiful, beautiful egg salad to take you on out today. And this is where we cue the band, and it's all like da 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 da. And there it is, folks. Another episode. The party is always in the kitchen.